Ew. So it's a normal every day. I'm at the Shelby Ranch this evening. Tomorrow I'll be going back to the excuse me, the Pineville Ranch and spending a few days out there because it's right close to work. Um, Napped heavily today. Haven't really felt good all day. Um, kind of feel like crap. Don't know why. But did a lot of news reading, did some news watching, some entertainment watching, and all that. Man, it's just so hard not to believe that we are just fully going to hell in a handbasket. I really am just it's crazy. Um, Out in Oklahoma, not only are they, let's see, they're thinking about banning marriage altogether because if the gays get it, they don't want anybody to have it because gays will just ruin it. And they passed a thing where you can't I can't remember exactly how it was worded, but you can't raise the minimum wage in that state. If you are a city or a township or whatever, you can't raise the minimum wage. It's now against the law to do it because the law in Oklahoma is uh, minimum wage is what it is, and you can't. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Then there's the gun nuts that are trying to that were protecting or standing behind the rancher who didn't want to pay his federal grazing fees. Federal grazing fees that every other rancher in the area pays. That is law across the land. That the guy is a multi-million-dollar rancher, but he just decided that he doesn't want to pay the fees because he thinks the government is he doesn't like the government anymore. So people are saying he's a patriot and all that. And it's just a guy that doesn't want to pay his fucking bills, to be honest with you. That's really what it is. So no matter what you hear, please look into it because it's just a guy who doesn't want to pay his bills because he doesn't like the way the government's going now. Okay? It, the racist guy that just shot up, there's so much in the news right now, and it all is just absolutely pointing to this coming thing, and I don't know what it's going to be, but it's just the radical right, the Christian militia people, and then the problem is those are the people that like have the juice behind them to be aggressive and to be violent and to affect the change. And the problem is like thinkers and atheists and rational people and all that. And I'm of that ilk. Don't take up arms. That's the thing, is we don't take up arms. Well, that's not our way. So, in fact, we're against that kind of thing. Look, it's 2014. Obama's been president since 2008. We don't have Sharia law. They said we were going to have that. We're not an Islamist country. Um, there's no death panels with Obamacare, even though it's passed. It's been law for 5 years. And nobody's come to take your guns. Nobody's coming to take your guns. Okay. So what? Tell me what? Because conservative pundits and radio hosts and shit like that, and your Glenn Becks and all that, Yeah, Obamacare is not perfect, and yeah, I don't believe in all this. I mean, I don't like the drone attacks, and I don't like Guantanamo Bay, and there's so much that can be that is just wrong. But it's not the apocalyptic bullshit that they keep telling you it's going to be. Nobody's nobody's come for your grandparents. Nobody's come for your guns. You know, the sky isn't falling. It's just not happening that way. But I see all this insanity inside of our country in these little pockets of stupid. Well, a lot of pockets of stupid, and there's little pockets of sanity. Let's make that clear. There's a lot of pockets of stupid, and there's little pockets of sanity. I don't know how this is going to go. I mean, it's getting worse. The right wing, and I cannot, for the life of me, understand it. I don't think Obamacare is perfect, and I don't like the fact that people are being forced to buy healthcare, but it is a step in the right direction because I think we need to be single payer. I really do. The rest of the world is progressing that way and or is that way and is realizing what it is. The rest of the world is getting free education. The rest of the world is making sure that people have decent wages, and we have a right wing in this country that is fighting against people getting health insurance, fighting hard against people having a decent living wage, because to fight against minimum wage, what the fuck? I don't get that. And these people get elected. Somehow or another, they're selling people, poor people, a bill of goods that says me making sure that you don't get an increase in minimum wage is good for you. I don't get this. And the billionaire oligarchy are just running it. They're just running it. This country is becoming exactly what we didn't want it to become. We left that situation. That's why this country was formed. To get away from the monarchy, to get away from that oppression. And yet these people out there with their "don't tread on me" flags and all that shit, and their guns, and they're trying to save America. The problem is you're trying to save America from people that are trying to save America. I'm really, I try not to be a doomsayer or anything like that, but God, I just can't, I can't remember when it was this bad. Yeah, I picked up this show on Netflix called Continuum, and I kept seeing it, and it looked sci-fi, and I thought I should give that a shot, because it's not made by Sci-Fi, the Sci-Fi Channel, which generally the stuff that's created by it is shit. Of course, I haven't given Helix a try, and that's a new series from them, and it may be good. I don't know, but anyway, Continuum. It's Canadian made, Canadian produced, and they make no mistake that they are in Canada. And it has a little bit of time travel and a whole lot of science, and um, uh, the premise, part of it is set, the causality is set in 77 years in the future. 77? No, 2077, so 60-ish years in the future. Right, so 60 plus years in the future, and in that future, the governments have fallen apart, and there becomes this thing called a corporate Congress. And it's kind of 1984-ish. It's kind of terrifying. The problem is they keep showing this stuff like you're born with a life debt and you have to work it off. It's just it's not as fringy as and not the show fringy as in kooky. It's not as kooky as it may seem. I think it's one of the most relevant shows on TV right now. It's in its third season. You can watch the first 2 seasons on Netflix. If you're a sci-fi lover, you'll enjoy it. If you're a little bit of a conspiracy nut, you'll enjoy it. But give it a couple of seasons, give it a couple of episodes, 2, 3. We'll watch 3 episodes. That's 3 44-minute chunks of your life. Watch it. And tell me that you don't see this shit kind of happening when they show the future stuff and you're like, oh my God, the stuff that's going on in the world right now, it looks like it's heading in that direction, and it'll mess with you if you really let it soak in. I don't see a good outcome right now. I just don't. Not just here in the U.S. The situation over in Russia and the Ukraine. And then in China and Japan are having these little rows, and China's fucking huge and Japan is fucking small, and Japan doesn't have an army because we told them not to. We told them we'd protect them. Oh my God. I'm not one of those people that want to go around, with a sign saying the end is near, but man, shit is messed up, and it has, first of all, the African continent has basically devolved into tribal warfare all over it. Just people killing people and just obliterating people. I don't know. Stuff's been on my mind all day, and I can't seem to get it out of my head that things are kind of really going sideways. And it always seems like there's something going on. Something a little crazy here or there. But it seems like a lot of it. And it seems like it's accelerating. And it seems like there's no clear path to sanity at this point. In our country especially. I can't speak for what's happening in Russia and the Ukraine. I don't know. I'm not smart enough to be the guy that like to say there's a solution there and it's this or whatever. I don't know how it's going to evolve or devolve. The thing between China and Japan, I can't. They just need to kiss and make up or figure something out, man, because that's just bad. But these semi-apocalyptic sci-fi thoughts that so many TV shows have, with corporate takeovers or things like that, I can't shake it. I really can't. I don't see it turning out well. I don't know. Usually I'm a fairly positive guy. Not right now. Don't know why. It's not right now. Too much crazy bullshit in the world, I guess. So, sorry that wasn't that whole rant wasn't more cohesive. I didn't know what I was gonna say when I cranked it up. So, anyway, let's leave that at that. I've gone way over what I like to do for time on these little things. So, and Continuum. It's a good show. It really is. It's kind of semi binge watched the first 2 seasons on Netflix, and damn it, having to wait for season 3 to catch up to itself. Anyway, I'm out. Be good to yourself and be good to each other.